Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, and I'm all discombobulated here. What's going on with my hair? Oh, thank goodness, I go and I get my hair done next weekend. Tony, I'll be visiting you next weekend. Okay, we got a lot to get into, but I hope everybody's having a great day. I know I am, because it is currently 12:39 in the afternoon. And I have the day off. Oh my gosh, what is this one hair? I have the day off, but this one hair right here is working overtime to really, oh, wait a minute. Oh, this one hair right here is really working overtime on me. Okay, so last night I watched The Bachelorette. I screamed and yelled a lot. And let's get into it, because this is a lot. All right. The preview, that they show at the top of every episode, it got me, because she was on a warpath looking for Sam, on a warpath. So it got me hopeful. Okay. This week they're back in the United States. They're in Seattle. I was like, that's odd that they chose Seattle, that they were like just chilling in foreign lands, and now they're here in Seattle, but we'll find out why a little bit later on. And I'm not a big fan of the reason why. Okay. So Jen meets up with Charity ahead of the hometowns, because next week it's going to be hometowns. They talk, and she mentions that Sam's holding back, and kind of reminds her of an ex. Remember, her exes were toxic. Her exes were not great, but he's still there. That's because of the physical attraction. That's all it is. So Devin mentions off cam, the guys go and get into their hotel, and Devin mentions off camera, Sam's cocky, and he's always known something is off with him, and that he is not the one for Jen. We all have known that. I mean, I don't know if everybody, but I think a large majority of us who have been watching this show, I'm gonna tell you from the very beginning, I didn't like him. Is he good looking? Yes. He looks like a dick. He looks like, no, I knew something was off with him. Okay, so the one-on-one date comes, and who's it gonna be? It's going to be Marcus. Marcus gets a green Letterman jacket. I was like, but why? What's this have to do with anything? If he gets a rose, then he's on to hometowns. Okay, so the one-on-one date, this was crap to me. Like, it was a cute idea, but it was just a promotional tie-in for Wicked, which is being released this fall. Wicked. This fall in theaters. It was all a tie into Wicked. I'm not a fan of that. So to me, this is the reason why they went to Seattle. It's called the Emerald City. Emerald City, Wicked. I'm never a fan of that. I don't like when they do, like, remember years ago when they had that tie-in with a comedy, a movie that was being released, and they had the two leads come on and do like a segment at the Women Tell All or the Men Tell All. I'm not a fan of it. I'm just not. So anyways, they pull back the curtain, and there's Kelsey and Daisy from Joey's season. They have a little yellow brick road, and they have set up different like stations where they have to choose this or that. Because love is compromise. So, okay. So there's that. One of the stations was, I don't even remember what one of the stations was, because, anyways, okay. So they picked the one that was like fun, I guess, and there was feathers, so they had like a little pillow fight, and then they laid on the ground on these pillows, made out in front of a bunch of tourists dressed in pink, and I was like, all right, this is all right, this is kind of dumb. Oh, and then the last choice was slow or fast. He picked slow, she picked fast. And for her, this was kind of like a red flag. Like, are we going to be able to get to where we need to be? So they picked fast. They got in like this bike, not bike, you know what I mean. It's like a big bike, but it's for two, and it's like large, and it has a canopy over the top, as a roof. I'm doing a terrible job of describing this, but they get in that, and they go, and then they go to they get to Cherry, and they have to like burst balloons. And the first balloon they burst has a picture of Marcus and his sister, and he talks about how much his sister means to him. And he burst another balloon, and it has like an old-timey TV that has a message from Marcus's sister. And he gets what's going on with his hair? And he gets very, very misty-eyed and very sentimental. And then the next balloon is like a letter from her mother. And that was very nice. So the last stop is Trista. And she's in front of a hot air balloon. They are determined to put this woman who is scared of heights up in the air every single damn episode. Every episode. So they get in. Of course there has to be somebody in there, operating this thing. So they end up making out, dudes standing over here. They're just making out. Of course, they're playing Defying Gravity from Wicked coming this fall. But she's making out with him, but she's still wondering, he picked slow. Can I get there? Can I get there with this guy? Can I get there? Okay. So the night portion was on a baseball field. They have dinner, but they really don't have dinner because remember, they don't eat because Jesse screwed it up for them when he shoved a whole corn cob in his mouth and then tried to have a discussion. Okay, so they get there. Listen, she's worried. She's saying ahead of time, I'm worried that I'm further along than he is. So tonight, I need to see that he can get there or that he's there. So Marcus, they start talking. Marcus says he had a hard time. He says, off camera, he says, I have a hard time opening up. I don't even open up to my friends. So listen, it makes perfect sense for you, buddy, then to go on a show in which you're going to have to share your entire life on national television. That makes some sense. I would do that. I can't stop laughing. But so Marcus tells the story because this right here, this part is not funny at all. But Marcus tells his story of his childhood. Like his parents were not great parents. They dropped him and his sister off at daycare and then just never came back. So they went into the foster system, and he was like, a family would take us and try us on, which is terrible, would try us on and then would ultimately decide that we weren't the right fit for them, and then we would go back into foster care. So he is like, he's worried about finding a love and then having them just abandon him. He wants a love that's never going to leave. And she liked that he had opened up about this. She talked about her family. Here's the thing. There was a lot of trauma bonding, but my question is is that something that can grow and that can sustain for all time? That's all I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. I hate being the bearer of bad news, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he's the one for her. I mean, I don't know. And so she hears all that. And if you're thinking, well, is he going to get the rose? Of course, he's going to get the rose, because after he just said all of this stuff and he doesn't want to be abandoned, is she really going to be like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. You are enough. But unfortunately, you're not going to get this rose. He got the rose. Am I saying I'm upset that he got the rose? No, but I don't know that there is enough there for a lifetime of love. I mean, I don't know. That's just it. That's just all. Okay, so the group date invitation comes. It is Spencer, Jonathan, Sam, Devin, and Grant. I got and the theme was, I want a love that listens. Now Grant, I got a little upset with Grant, because Grant's upset that he didn't get the one-on-one. You just had one-on-one. You literally just had a one-on-one. There are some people that have never gotten a one-on-one. Who's the name that was left off that list? It's the one person that has not had a one-on-one. That's Jeremy. He deserves a one-on-one. He's never had one. So Grant, boo-hoo. I like Grant, but boo-hoo. So ahead of the guys, Jen goes to iHeartRadio. And who's there but Jason and Molly from The Bachelor. Now, when Jason was The Bachelor, they did the same exact group date where they went to iHeartRadio. So they're going back to the scene of the crime. They're talking to her, and she says, they were like, who's the one guy that stands out? She says, Sam, because of our physical connection, the kiss. But she's worried that there's not much more there. And there are red flags. Because, listen, Jen, we've seen them. Some of us have seen them from the very beginning. Correct. The guys are walking up to the building. Of course, for fuck's sakes. What do you think Sam's saying? Sam's saying he's going to keep the main thing, because it's the main thing with the main thing. So they bring the men in. Devin's absolutely right. Because words no good for Sam. If he has to talk and put some words together, he's gonna shit the bed on that one. Okay. So the men are brought in and they're doing a rapid fire, and they ask questions like, Rose, and Spencer's like, me. Grant's like, they're like, shower to Grant. Grant's like, every day. Don't they say to Sam, fantasy suite? He can't quickly say anything. He says aggressive. Aggressive? That doesn't sound right. That's a red flag. That's a big red flag. How do you feel about Jen? Fire. Reckless. Love is reckless. Oh, fuck. I can't with this reckless love and ferocious love. How do you feel about Jen? Fire. The other guys are like thoughtful, witty, beautiful, sensitive, understanding, compassionate. He's like fire. Ugh. He's not even answering any of the questions. And then he comes out and it sounded like he really did say he didn't know if Jen could show love the way he knows how to show love. You talking about the reckless love? All the men are looking like, the fuck is this? This dude is imploding. This dude is self-imploding. He don't answer any of the questions. It sounds like he's reading directly from a script that he memorized. She's confused. She's like, he's not authentic. He's not genuine. He certainly is not. So they're like, we're going to pick one guy that is going to get extra time to get to know more about Jen. So it's Sam. They're like, Sam gets the time. He really is smiling like, I did good. I'm going to get this. And the guys, rightfully so, are like, Spencer's like, so Sam gets extra time with Jen and we have to go into another room and watch all this shit go down. But listen, what did I have put? I wrote, I would be pissed too if I answered honestly and authentically. Then there's this douche canoe quoting Luke Bryan and Morgan Wallen songs. He gets more time. You have to watch it. But listen, give it time, guys, because he's going to blow this up. He's going to ruin this for himself. So Sam continues to not answer any of the questions, makes it all about himself, and then has the damn nerve, and then says the quiet part out loud when he was like, I thought the Bachelorette was going to be Daisy or Maria. Did I fucking hear that? I sure did. He said it. He said that. And right after she just said last week about how she feels like Austin went home and she feels like she's not good enough and she's not worthy enough. And then he's saying this. He's saying, listen, when I got out, you weren't my type. I thought it was going to be Maria or Daisy. No. And I love the fact that she was challenging him on the answers. And then he brings up what do you think selfless is? He says hot. How does hot equal selfless? Selfless. What is that? Do he even know what selfless means? And like I said, I think the guys are okay with Sam getting that time, the extra time, because he's just digging his own grave. And then he tries to save it all by grabbing her head and making out with her. And she's like, this is not, no. So at the after party, Jen tells them, hey, there's one conversation that was fucked up, but I'm not going to tell you who it is, but you all know. You know, everybody, one of you know, except for you, Sam. You don't know. You think it's somebody else. So she talks to all the guys. Grant says, I already choose you. I cherish you. And I see a future with you. I'm falling in love with you. Beautiful. Jonathan says he feels strongly for her. She likes that he really saw her. Take notes, Sam. Spencer says, she says about Spencer, she can see him trying. She feels so seen and understood. I'm telling you, Spencer's my favorite. Devin says he is enjoying the thought of her visiting his hometown. He's told his mom that he really only wants to bring a woman home who makes him proud. She says she's falling for him. I think Devin is the front runner. Devin, they then go outside. They're all talking, guys are all talking. Devin's like, hey, Sam, do you think she's talking about you? He's like, Sam really thinks that shitty conversation she could have been talking about anybody, but definitely not him. It's not him. It's somebody else. Right. So she talks to Sam, but I don't understand. She's like, I can't understand what I'm missing about Sam. I don't understand how you don't understand it. All that it's ever been is a physical spark. You've said that yourself. That's it. There's nothing else. He has no emotional depth or any depth. He never has from the very absolute beginning. So he starts off with talking about selfless love, and he was really acting like she's the one who's given no emotional support. She's not supporting him. Because don't you know that we're not watching The Bachelorette. We're watching Douche Canoe Central with Sam as the head douche canoe. Are you kidding me? So he really said that. And he can't, she's like, how do I fit into this? He can't explain it. He's there to find the woman that will be his wife and the mother to his children. He can't explain how she fits into this vision of him being a father. He says it's a feeling. I can't explain that. What the fuck is that? You can't explain it because you're as dumb as a box of rocks. You're not there. You're not there to find it. You're there to find some fame. I don't give a shit. And the family is coming out. And I get it. The family's standing up for him and sticking up for him. And I get it. You know, sometimes edits. Listen, as a person who watches a lot of reality TV, they sure can edit. But listen, I don't think this is fully blamed on the edit. I don't think you can fully blame this on the edit. Plus, when you sign your contract, you say, I'm okay with how they're going to portray me on screen. So, So he can't explain any of this. And then he throws out that Hail Mary pass that I love you. I'm falling in love with you. After he just said he's not sure how she fits into this. Listen, I think it could be anybody. Like anybody could be standing there, any woman, any attractive woman could be standing there and he'd be like, I love you. It's no. And she doesn't. So he says, I love you, thinking she's gonna be like, oh my God, I got there. No, she don't buy it. He hasn't shown that he loves her at all and can't even explain it. Well, I'm gonna tell you. And he doesn't know her. He doesn't understand her. He doesn't know her. Quit throwing out words like ferocious love or reckless love. Okay? You don't need any more time, Jen. You need to dump him. You need to dump his ass. This is the same kind of thing you had in your past. Dump him. Move on. So she says there's no group rose. She's thoroughly fucking confused. Although I don't understand why. I don't understand why you're confused. So guys are talking. Spencer tells Marcus that Sam said, the other guys, the other guys that are here, they're just filler. He's going to be the last man standing. But bet your ass, don't hold your breath on that one. And then he says he just woke up that morning and he was in love. Right. Sure. Okay. So the one-on-one with Jeremy. She says she wants to dig deeper to see if they have like a deeper emotional connection because they have a lot of fun, but she's not sure. She's not sure if they can get there. She wants to see. He feels pressured because like the other men are further along. They are because they've had one-on-one dates and he hasn't. I like this date. I like this date more than the other date because this date wasn't sponsored by anything. I enjoyed this. They had a lot of fun, but I could see where you would maybe be like, I'm catching friend vibes from this. And didn't they go to a palm reader and she was like, didn't she say you need more than just physical? You need something deeper right after she had that whole debacle conversation with Sam the night before. So once again, before the nighttime date, she's like, I need to see if we can get deeper emotionally. During the dinner, they get pretty deep. They're talking about his mother and their religions, how they would raise kids. If they say that they would like to raise kids knowing both religions. She's, she said she's Muslim or Hindu. He's Jewish. So he gets the rose. I'm going to tell you what, I did not have Jeremy getting a rose on my bingo card. Not at all. Okay. So before the rose ceremony starts, she has a sit down with Sam. She goes into the first room and is like, is Sam here? The guys are like, what? No. Goes in the next room, asks Spencer, is Sam here? No, I don't know where he's at. Goes in the third room, kicks down the door, and interrupts him. Obviously, it looks like he's staring at himself with trying to figure out like how many buttons is appropriately enough for me to unbutton to show my chest and this cock ring that I have hanging on his necklace. He's just staring at himself. She's like, we need to talk. So she asks him, how are you doing? He's like, terrified. Well, you should be. You should be terrified. So Sam sure does double down, says, I love you, and spouts off this Matthew McConaughey monologue that he obviously memorized. It sounds like it came from a Matthew McConaughey rom-com and like a best man speech. Love is selfless. Love is ferocious. No. You're telling me. And then he's like, words are not, I'm not good with words. Really? You're telling us that words are not your strong suit, Sam. Really? I wouldn't have thought that. I never would have thought that. And then he's like, when you come home with me, you'll see how much I love my family and my friends. That's great. I'm sure you do love your family and friends, but I'm on a Bachelorette to find love with somebody. Not to find somebody who just loves their family and friends. I mean, sure you love them, but she can't see him loving her right now. She didn't understand this. And then he sure did come right out and say, listen, there's a million other people out there that are just like you. And how dare you expect me to use words to answer your questions? Once again, last week, she was feeling like she wasn't good enough. And here he is being like, listen, it could be you or it could be any number of women standing in front of me. It don't matter. Thrown out and then thrown out bullshit where it's like, when I got out of the limousine, your energy soothed me and we have a ferocious love. And then he says, but I think it all turned around after that stripping challenge, when you looked at me and you what did he say? He said, you poured your energy into my emotional cup. What does that mean? Even she was like, I don't understand. Am I going nuts? What is he saying? What did you learn about me? And he says, you yearn for a ferocious love or something. And then he says, you have no idea how much I appreciate you. And then he says that he loves her. You're absolutely correct that he could be saying this to anyone. He could be saying this to literally anyone. As a matter of fact, he thought he was going to be saying this to Daisy or Maria. So, correct. And after that, she's like, I don't know what to do. You know what to do. You got to kick his ass to the curb. She goes back in. He don't listen to her at all. And then he gaslights her. So she kicks him to the curb. And the best thing was, she didn't even walk him out. She was like, deuces, see you later. Listen, he strikes me as the kind of guy, if he's ever dumped, he's going to totally rip on the woman. Like, he's going to go and badmouth her to everybody and rip on her looks. He kind of does that. He says her energy was dull. Well, if her energy was dull, how were you falling in love with her? I think this guy's worse than Jesus Showers. If you don't know Jesus Showers, it's Luke P. It's Luke P from Hannah Brown season. I call him Jesus Showers because he was a playboy. He slept with everybody. And then one day he was taking a shower and Jesus told him to knock that shit off and quit doing it. And it turned him around. That's why I call him Jesus Showers. So he's gone. Okay, so here's the rose ceremony. We got two guys that already have roses. That is Marcus and Jeremy. So who do we have left? Devin, Jonathan, Grant, Spencer. Here's who I thought was going to be in. I thought it was going to be Devin and Grant. That's who I picked. Who's in? It's Devithan. That's it. It's Devithan. It's Devin and Jonathan. Grant and Spencer are out. Here's the thing. Grant doesn't have long to cry because they just announced Grant last night as the new Bachelor. That never happens. You know, they always wait until after the season's over, which I knew that ahead of time they were going to announce it, which had me and everybody else thinking it was going to be like an OG, like, is it going to be Greg or somebody from, you know, an OG Bachelorette contestant. That's who I thought. It's going to be Grant, and I'm okay with that. I liked Grant. A lot of people were saying they wanted it to be Austin. I didn't know enough about Austin to form an opinion on him. So I don't know. I'm good with Grant. I like Grant. It really surprised me about Grant because she seemed to be into him. And when he said he's falling in love with her, she was very receptive to it. So that's why that surprised me. But listen, we got to talk about this. I knew Spencer was going to go, but the way that Spencer went, I know that some people are going to like make fun of him calling his mother. But when he called his mother and she's like, why are you calling me? And he's like, she wasn't like, why are you calling me? She was like, well, what does this mean? And he said that I was asked to go home. And then she started, oh, and then he started crying about like, he thought he had met someone, and the whole thing was like he's tired of not being the one picked and he wants to find his someone. That right there, you know what song literally got into my mind when he said that was Taylor Swift's song from Tortured Coats Department, The Prophecy. Seriously, that's what immediately started playing on. I felt so terrible for him because listen, if you're someone who's never picked, it hits you. You understand. That's why I was so Spencer was my absolute favorite from this whole season. I felt so bad for him. Now listen, next week is hometowns. I'm going to tell you, it looks like now, after all these men are like, I can see a life with you. Now it looks like they're coming out of hometowns questioning that. I'm going to tell you who would not have done that. You know who wouldn't have done that? Grant and Spencer. Neither one of them would have done that. I would bet $100 on it that neither one of those men would do it. So, listen, in the comments, I'm going to keep this under 3 hours. So in the comments, let me tell you, in the comments, tell me what you thought about last night's episode. And as always, if nobody told you yet today, I love you. You're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and understanding out there. So it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. 3 things. Number 1, always be aware of your surroundings, whether you're in your house and you need to be vigilant about what's going on outside of your house, or if you're outside in public, be careful. People are nuts today. People are, you don't know. You can't trust anybody. Be careful. Be aware, be vigilant. And number 2, please be safe. Number 3, if you're somewhere where it's super hot, hydrate often. Do it with water. Don't do it with like iced coffee or pop, or as other people, we say pop here in Western Pennsylvania. Other people might say soda. I'm not all bougie like that. I say pop. So that being said, I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye guys.